I'm going to be going over a couple of the scats and tracks since I've been doing a little bit of that on this video, so you can kind of see what it looks like, what you're looking for when you're out in the mountains like northwest Montana. Here's one we saw a little bit earlier today. Uh, this is larger than the German Shepherd. The male's usually 145 pounds, female 120, and the color uh, is off gray to red and often tawny with whitish underside. And here's their scat. You can see it's blunt end. It's not tapered, they're blunt. And the size is 4 inches by 1.25. Now here's some things you want to look for. There's scraping around the ground. And here's the print, just exactly the one I've been showing you. You got your 4 toes, you got your pad, and there's a little indent in here. With the 2 indents in this lobe down here. And there's the hind. The size, of course, is going to be like 3.5 inches by 3.6 inches. Up here in northwest Montana, we do have grizzly bear. There's a fairly nice population of them up here. Of course, the difference is they're huge. You want to be very careful around these guys if you see one. They're more the size of a cow. Female's about 350 pounds and the male 450, sometimes more. Both sexes have a hump on the shoulders. As you can see, there's a hump. Color varies from black to brown to blonde. Light tips on the individual hairs create the grizzly's appearance, for which grizzlies are named. And you can see they're down here. A lot of them in the park and a lot of them down in this area too. Okay, here's their scat, and it's pretty big. It's going to have blunt ends just like many of the others. Some broken constrictions, but the size is going to be 10 inches by 1.5, which is pretty big. And inside, of course, you're going to see berries, hair, sometimes depends on what they've been eating, but you're going to be able to tell a lot of things about them by what they eat. And this is like when they like to rub trees a lot, so when you see a tree that's rubbed like this, a lot of times you can tell that grizzly's been up here. You go check that rub part, you'll find hair in there, so that'll show you exactly what. Here's the paw of a grizzly. Remember, bear's got 5 toes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 toes. And there's a pad, and there's a little back pad. That's the front. The size is what's going to really help you out. 5.5 inches by 5 inches or larger is going to be a grizzly. Here's the hind print. Of course, it's got the whole pad in here. The hind is 10 inches by 6 inches. That's pretty big. You might notice, compared to the cat or other animals, you do have the claw marks on the grizzly, and they're way out. They're way out. And of course, we got the black bear. It's pretty much like the cubs we chased up the tree and kind of made the mother a little bit nervous last week. Well, black bears are about a calf size. They weigh about 120 pounds for a female and up to 300 pounds for a male. So there's a huge difference a lot of times. Those males can get very big. The colors from black to brown to blonde. And this year I got 2 of them for you if you check the movies. One was a black bear and its cubs, and another one was a blonde. Northwest Montana. And of course, this is all the Rocky Mountain region. And here's their scat. It really does vary with a lot of the scat because it depends on what they eat, the health of the animal and everything. Because I showed you some scat today that was just one big pile. Well, it was definitely bear scat. Because you can tell what was in it, but it didn't necessarily look like this. It was more like the bear had the runs, and they're pretty much like anything else. You can get sick, and depending on what you eat, your scat's gonna look different. The scat is 7 inches by 1 inch for a black bear. Remember, the grizzly is quite a bit bigger, and they can get claw marks, hind marks on trees also, but not the total rubbing off that a grizzly bear can do. And here's the track of black bear. As you can see, there's a little bit of difference, especially in the size. 4.5 inches by 4 inches. Also, this little toe, it doesn't show very much, so that's going to be very faint. But you're still going to have the claw marks, the pad, and that pad. They look pretty much the same as the grizzly, except a lot smaller. And this toe's not going to show very well. Alright, so now we'll go to the hoofed animals. And the first one I got on here is the moose. We got a moose not too long ago. You probably saw that movie of it eating out in kind of a swampy area. And of course, it's of the deer family. It's the largest member. They weigh up to 900 pounds. They are huge, with the female smaller. Color varies from tan to black. Females have white underpatch of hair around the vulva. And of course, the males have big antlers that they shed every year. Here's the area. There's northwest Montana. And this is the scat for them. Of course, you can tell the difference between deer scat and moose scat by the size. It's simply much bigger. It's got a nipple on the end right there, and it's got a dimple on the other. And there's the track. The front is 6 inches by 3.5 inches. And here's the elk. We've got a lot of elk this year. They were down low for some reason. So I've had a lot of pictures earlier. Some I haven't put up too. I should probably get them up. But this is the elk, and they're medium-sized, larger than a deer, and they can get up to 700 pounds, and females 450. They're reddish to dark brown with yellow, red rump. So they're pretty big. And as you can see, they're, of course, northwest Montana and through Colorado. This is their scat. It's 0.05 inches. It's a pellet. And it's got a nipple. And a lot of times it looks like this. They're pretty large looking. They also shed their antlers. And this is their footprint. Now the difference between those two, this is going to be wider. And for the moose, there's a whole lot more up here. So the width really does make a difference. And that's it for Scats and Tracks. If you got any questions, just email me and I'll do my best to give you the answer or find it out. Hope you enjoyed this part, learned a little bit, and now you can figure out what is in the wilderness, what is in the forest.